Also in our Living Longer report today, a word of caution from healthcare providers as the weather warms up and you start taking on the yard work. As you likely know, it can be strenuous, and if you don't sort of ease into it, you may wind up in pain. Number one complaint from those who do yard work is usually back pain. So healthcare providers say treat it like a workout. Warm up, stretch out, and make sure you have the right tools and the proper body mechanics. It's estimated that once we hit about 30 or 35, we lose strength if we don't build it up over time. Activities such as raking and mulching and gardening can be a really good workout against this. But if you haven't done it since last year, start with short spurts at a time. Make sure you wear gloves on your hands and your feet are covered. Remember too that if you feel pain, heat is not the best treatment. Use the RICE rule, so it's rest, ice, and elevate. If you don't feel better in a day or so, you may need medical attention. A reminder too about mowing the lawn. The first few times can also be like aerobic activity, so if you don't do this regularly, you might want to do the front yard, take a little break in between, drink a little water, do the backyard. And by the way, the closed gloves on your hands and closed shoes on your feet. I'm already hearing emergency room reports of people, you know, when you first go out, there's a lot of stuff in the lawn those first few times that goes flying and hits people, debris, eyewear, that kind of thing. So they're just reminding all of us of that. If you haven't done it in a while, you just go out and think, oh, no big deal. And those are the things that get us, the things we think are no big deal.
And you know how I like to garden.
I know, I did that just for Paula to remind us all. We are back at